While building a crib for my unborn son, I heard my wife say to her mom, "I don't love him. I never did. He's just a paycheck with hands." That was a week ago. This morning, she and her mother showed up at my door, crying, begging me to talk. This has been the worst week of my life. I'm still trying to process it all. Sorry if this comes out messy. I just need to get it off my chest. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Some background. I'm 38M. My wife, Megan, is 36F. We've been married for 10 years. She has a daughter, Skylar, 15F, from a previous relationship. I've raised Skylar as my own since she was 5. We're expecting our first child together, a boy, due in about 3 weeks. We plan to name him Liam. We have a nice house in the suburbs, decent savings, a quiet, stable life. Or so I thought, the moment everything shattered. Last Saturday, I was in the garage assembling the crib. One of those nightmare DIY kits with 1,000 screws and no instructions that make sense. I'd been at it for hours, zoned out, just focused on getting it right. I left the garage door, cracked open for some air. The kitchen window sits directly above it. I could hear Megan talking to her mom, Bernice, and Skylar inside. At first, it was just background noise, laughter, small talk. But then I heard my name. Naturally, I tuned in. Megan was venting about how stressed she felt with the baby coming. At first, it sounded normal. Then it turned. She said I was getting on her nerves, that I was too clingy. And then, I don't love him. I never did. He's just a paycheck with hands. A paycheck with hands? Bernice didn't even sound surprised. She just nodded and said, "We'll get custody when he breaks." And then Skylar, the girl I've raised for a decade, kissed boo-boos for, taught to ride a bike, casually asked, "Can I spit in his food?" I froze. Drill still in. My hand. Everything inside me collapsed. But I didn't say a word. I finished the crib on autopilot, walked inside to 3 smiling faces like nothing had happened. Megan asked if I wanted lunch. I looked at Skylar and felt physically ill. I told them I wasn't hungry, went to the bathroom, locked the door, and had the quietest breakdown of my life. Since then, I've been acting normal, making breakfast, rubbing Megan's belly, smiling at Skylar, pretending I don't know I'm surrounded by people who think of me as nothing more than a walking wallet. Now I see all the signs I missed. I've always handled our finances. I make more money than Megan, but I never minded supporting her or Skylar. Paid for Megan to go back to school. Bought Skylar everything she needed. Covered every family vacation. Every dinner out, every emergency. Megan insisted on keeping separate bank accounts for independence. I never questioned it. Now I know better. This week, I went through our finances. She's been slowly draining our joint account, tiny. Transfers I wouldn't notice. I checked our shared Amazon account. She's been ordering baby stuff and sending it to her mom's house. Stuff I didn't even know we needed. Then I checked her texts. So many times she said she was working late. In reality, she was out with friends. Photos, dinner receipts, smiles, lies. Nothing that proves cheating, but it proves betrayal. And now I'm trapped in this house of lies. I sleep next to someone who sees me as an ATM. I feed a child who wants to spit in my food. I plan a nursery for a baby whose mother is preparing to take him from me the second she feels secure. The say. Worst part? I still love that baby. He's the only thing keeping me going. What I'm doing now. I've started secretly recording conversations with my smartwatch. I've backed up our financial records. I've taken screenshots of her lies, the secret purchases, the fake work shifts. I've booked a consultation with a lawyer. I've started documenting everything. Every time Skylar asks for money, I have to fight the urge to ask her if she's earning it with spit. Every time Megan talks about baby names, I want to scream. But I can't. Not yet. Not until I have my exit planned. Not until I know I can protect my son. Because I will fight for him. I'll fight with every ounce of energy I have. They might see me as a resource to drain, but I will not let them take my child. Today. Megan asked if I could paint the nursery this weekend. Said her doctor wants her to rest because her blood pressure's up. I smiled and said, "Of course. No problem." Inside, I was screaming. She's been texting me all day about the baby shower, decorations, gift lists, balloons, acting. Like everything's fine. Like she didn't blow up our entire marriage with one sentence. Tonight, I'll sleep beside her again. I'll kiss her goodnight, I'll ask how she's feeling, because I have to keep the mask on just a little longer. But make no mistake, I heard everything. I'm not a fool anymore. Not a wallet, not a walking paycheck. I'm a father, and I'm going to protect my son. From her, from Bernice, from anyone. The bank is closed, the mask is slipping, and they have no idea what's coming next. My wife called me a paycheck with hands while I built a crib for our son. Tomorrow, I'm disappearing with my child. First off, I want to say thank you. The response to my original post was overwhelming. I didn't expect thousands of strangers to care or to offer advice, encouragement, and share their own stories. I read every comment, every message. It gave me strength during the darkest time of my life. Sorry I disappeared. Things have been chaos. For those who didn't see the first post, here's the short version. While building a crib for my unborn son, I overheard my wife Megan tell her mom that she's never loved me, that I'm just a paycheck with hands. Her mom agreed and said they'd get custody once I broke. Then Megan's daughter, my stepdaughter Skylar, who I've raised for 10 years, asked if she could spit in my food. That was 2 months ago. Liam, my son, was born a few weeks early. 6 lb, 4 Oz. Healthy, thank God. And now, I've been living in a carefully constructed lie, pretending to be the doting husband, smiling, nodding, planning my escape. Operation Ghost Protocol. Yeah, I named it that. Even in the middle of my life falling apart, I needed something to hold on to. Here's what I've done since Liam was born. Legal advice. Met with a lawyer the day after we got home from the hospital. Cost me a couple $1,000s, but worth every penny. I got clear direction on paternity, custody rights, and how to protect myself. Finances. I started slowly redirecting portions of my paycheck into a new separate bank account. Just enough to avoid raising suspicion. Built myself a safety net. Evidence. Bought a voice-activated recorder, legal in my state, and hid it in the nursery. I've caught hours of disturbing conversations when they thought I wasn't around. Living arrangements. Rented a small apartment across town, paid 3 months up front. Been quietly moving clothes and essentials when no one's home. Nothing Megan would immediately miss. Documentation. I'm keeping photos, receipts, notes, every diaper I've changed, every night feeding, every supply I bought for Liam. All of it backed up in a cloud folder shared with my lawyer, including the original recording where they called me a paycheck. The most disturbing moment came last week. I caught Skylar, the girl I taught to ride a bike, who I helped through strep throat, whose school dances I drove her to, spitting in my coffee. I had installed a discreet camera in the kitchen after my last post. She looked directly at the mug, hawked one in, and stirred it with this smirk. The kind that drains every ounce of warmth from your body. That moment broke something in me. And since Liam arrived, Megan and Bernice have only gotten worse. They make parenting decisions, without me. Yesterday, Bernice said they should take Liam for the weekend to give me a break. I smiled and thanked her, while mentally adding it to my evidence pile. Megan plays the perfect wife on social media, posts family pics, tags me in heartfelt captions about what an amazing dad I am. Meanwhile, she texts her mom complaining that I hold Liam too much and it's getting on her nerves. Yes, I can see her messages. Cloud backups. Tip from my lawyer. And through all of this, I've been pretending. Every diaper, every bottle, every sleepless night. I've done it because I love my son more than I ever thought possible. At 3 a.m., while feeding him in the dark, I whisper that I'll always protect him, that I'll never leave him, that one day he'll know the truth. Then I place him back, in his crib, and I go sleep on the couch because I can't stand sharing a bed with Megan anymore. Skylar. This has been the hardest part. Despite everything she's said and done, I was her dad for 10 years. But she's old enough to know right from wrong. She's not 5 anymore. She knew what she was doing. And the truth is, I can't forgive that. Tomorrow, when I leave, I'll be leaving her behind. I wrote her a letter, told her that I did love her, that I hope someday she'll understand. Maybe she'll hate me forever. Maybe she won't care. But I had to try. Tomorrow's the day. Megan, Bernice, and Skylar are going out all day for Skylar's birthday. Mall, lunch, nails, the whole thing. They'll be gone for hours. While Megan was in the shower this morning, I loaded the car with the last of my things. Tomorrow, once they leave, I'm taking Liam. His portable crib baby supplies the dog. They won't notice. I've been prepping him for weeks with daycare runs. And every document we need, birth certificates, insurance cards, medical records, 10 years of marriage packed into 2 duffel bags and a backpack. She has no idea. Megan keeps asking why I've been so quiet lately. I just tell her I'm tired from the baby. She smiles and says, "You're such a good dad." She doesn't know I heard everything, that I've been 10 steps ahead, that the man she thought was a pushover is already gone. Is it wrong that part of me is excited to finally be free? To start a life with my son, one not built on lies and manipulation? Maybe, but tomorrow, Liam and I start fresh, and they'll never see it coming. The best revenge is refusing to be a victim. Not just for revenge, for freedom, for the chance to breathe without feeling like I'm suffocating in lies. Maybe that makes me a bad person. Maybe I should have confronted them the moment I overheard everything. Maybe I should have tried to fix things. But you can't fix people who see you as a resource, not a human being. You can't reason with someone who never truly loved you. All you can do is protect yourself, and the innocent ones caught in the crossfire. The plan was simple. Once I was set up at the new place, I'd text Megan a single screenshot. The video of Skylar spitting in my coffee. Nothing else. Then I'd turn off my phone for 24 hours while they panicked. The next day, my lawyer would contact her with custody arrangements and divorce papers. Wish me luck, Reddit. The next update will be from my new place, with my son, safe, starting our new life. Final update. 3 months later. It's been 3 months since I left. Wasn't planning to update, but the DMs kept coming. I figured I owe you all some closure. And truthfully, writing this out helps me process the absolute dumpster fire my life became. First off, Liam is doing great. 4 months old now, babbling non-stop. Kid's got lungs, keeps me up half the night, but I don't even mind. Every time he wraps his tiny hand around my finger, I remember why every painful step was worth it. The day I left was like a surreal movie scene. I moved out while they were shopping for Skylar's birthday. Took Liam, the dog, and whatever I could fit in my car. My new place? Tiny 1-bedroom with a bathroom so small you can touch all 4 walls at once. But it's mine. There's no one here calling me a paycheck with hands. I sent the video of Skylar spitting in my coffee, like I planned, then turned off my phone. When I turned it back on a day later, 97 missed calls, over 200 texts. I saved screenshots of the first few. They're in a folder I call When I Need a Laugh. Where are you? Answer your damn phone. Please just tell us you're okay. We can fix this. Please come home. We need you. Not one message. Asked about Liam. It took hours before Megan even mentioned our son. That told me everything I needed to know. The next morning, my lawyer served her with divorce papers and a custody proposal. 50-50 split to start. Along with all the evidence, the recordings, screenshots, texts, everything. That's when all hell broke loose. Megan and Bernice showed up at my apartment that same afternoon. No idea how they found me. Maybe tracked my phone. But there they were. Megan looked wrecked. Mascara streaked, clothes from the day before. Bernice looked 10 years older. I held Liam in my arms and told them they had 15 minutes. No yelling around the baby. What followed was the most bizarre conversation of my life. Megan swore she didn't mean what she said in the kitchen, that she was just stressed, that Bernice pushed her to say those things, that she really did love me, that she couldn't believe I would steal our son. Bernice tried another tactic, disappointment, then threats, then bribery. She offered to help with rent if I moved back home. The audacity. This woman, who called me a paycheck, now trying to buy me off. I didn't argue, I just pulled out my phone and hit play. The look on their faces as they heard their own voices. Megan, he's just a paycheck with hands. Bernice, we'll get custody when he breaks. Skylar, can I spit in his food? Megan again, post-birth. He's too clingy with our baby. We need to fix that. And then the video, Skylar staring straight into the camera as she spat in my coffee. Megan collapsed into sobs. Bernice went stone-cold silent. They asked to hold Liam. I said no. Then the real truth came out. Without my income, they couldn't afford the mortgage. Megan had maxed out 3 credit cards I didn't know about. Bernice was counting on me to support them all while they focused on the baby. Finding out I'd been documenting everything for months blindsided them. After they left, I didn't feel satisfaction or relief. Just emptiness. I'd been running on adrenaline for so long, and suddenly it was quiet. The next few weeks were a blur of court dates, custody battles, and late-night feedings. Temporary custody arrangement. I had Liam 4 days a week. She had him 3. Every handoff was awkward. She'd try to argue. I didn't engage, just handed over his diaper bag and left. Skylar texted me, said she was sorry, said she missed me, asked if we could talk. Hardest thing I've ever done, not responding. I raised that girl since kindergarten. But I can't unsee the cruelty in her eyes that day. Some wounds don't heal. Then came the court hearing. My lawyer crushed it. He presented everything. Texts, recordings, financial records, the video. Megan's lawyer argued I set them up, and the recordings were illegal. They're not. Not in our state. The judge didn't buy it for a second. Final ruling. I got primary physical custody. Megan gets Liam every other weekend and 1 dinner. Visit per week. She pays me child support. The house, sold. She and Bernice moved in together. That was 2 months ago. Things are finally settling. I moved into a better apartment. 2 bedrooms and a yard for the dog. Started therapy. Shout out to BetterHelp. Joined a single dads group. Turns out, I'm not the only guy who learned the hard way what his wife really thought of him. Megan, she's changed. A little. More present during her visits. Shows up on time. Texts about Liam. Maybe losing custody woke her up. Or maybe she's just playing the long game. Either way, I document everything. Bernice still hates me, sends passive-aggressive gifts with notes like, Liam belongs with his mommy. I save them all. One day, when Liam's older and asks questions, he'll see the truth, not the sugar-coated version they'll try to feed him. And the kicker? Last week, Megan asked if we could try again. Said she realized what she lost. That she did love me, just didn't know how to show it. I looked at her, then at our son, thought about my peaceful little home, how I don't have to check my food or sleep next to someone who sees me as a means to an end. And I said no. Her face in that moment? That was when I finally felt free. So here I am, 1 year later. Not the life I planned, but maybe the one I needed. Liam's first birthday is next month. We're doing a small party. Just me, a few friends, and lots of cake. Megan gets her own time with him the next day. We're not friends. We're not enemies. Just two people trying to raise a kid without screwing him up too badly. Thanks for everything, Reddit. I couldn't have made it through without you. Life's still messy, but at least it's honest. Now,